Libra, how you getting on? And welcome to the show. How you all doing? So let's see. Libra, so can you tell me the energies around Libra from now until roughly around the end of the month, please? Till the end of June. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. What messages have you got for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus? Thank you. Any more messages for Libra? Libra, and we'll see how this tallies up. I'll draw some more cards. I've got some other, I'm trying to use some other angel cards that I don't really use anymore, but I thought we'd have a bit of a go. So Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising on Venus. From now to the end of June. Thank you. So let's see what we got. Free yourself. Free yourself. You don't want a heartbreak no more. So you've got heart-to-heart conversations. So we all need a heart-to-heart. I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I shouldn't have walked away. I could have walked away. So probably someone's walked away, or you've walked away from someone, and you need to have a heart-to-heart conversation. But the funny thing is what kind of heart-to-heart conversation is it that you have to somebody? You know, is it, well, here's my heart, and well, here's my heart, and I'm lost. Because what I really need to do is free myself. Free yourself. Free yourself from the thoughts and the feelings and the mind where it's just created a cycle where you feel like you're probably entrapped and that you need to have a heart-to-heart conversation with somebody. Now that can mean your friend, your family, your dog. It can mean your loving partner, your job. If it's a job, you feel entrapped in it, and the fact that you need a break. You know, that you need to free yourself from it, and that you need some time of recuperation. So these can be two different things. You need to free yourself from whatever it is that's going around and around in your mind. There's something that's going around and around in your mind constantly. Okay, but it's time to take back control of your life. So somewhere or somewhere over the rainbow, somehow or somewhere that you feel like you are probably being controlled. This is parts of like mind control. Okay, so it's a bit like the Five of Swords really to me, or the Eight of Swords, but it's where things have reached a pinnacle point where you just feel like a pony. And that you're probably dancing around a maypole, but you are just trapped. You're like, well, you know what, fuck it, I need to rest. I need to like lay down, sit down, because I can't get out of whatever it is that I'm in, because I'm trapped in karma. So I'm just trapped in this cycle of confusion, and I just can't seem to get out. So the only thing that I can do is to just chill. Is to just chill, Libra. Because you might have a heart-to-heart conversation that's coming up where it's like, heart, I just died in your arms tonight. It's like you're looking into a longing, but someone's looking away, right? It's kind of like, listen, I'm here. And he's like, well, are you? You know, sorry, but I don't ever look at these cards. But you've got two little chalky, but well, they are white, but like cheeky children that are like sitting there giggling, cherubs. So you're being guided, but it's kind of like, listen, bruv, I'm here, but you're not paying attention. It's like, yes, Cinderella, I know, but listen, masculine, feminine, we need to have a talk, bruv, because I've got to say something to you about my heart. I just died in your arms tonight. So, okay, Libra. Sorry for the jokes, but that's just what I'm picking up. We need to add a little bit of humour within our readings, right? There you go. Rest and recuperation. Rest and recuperation. It's like, listen, me trying to talk to you, brother's like trying to talk to a brick wall, because it's like trying to raise the dead. Why is it? Or it's just kind of like, I've just had enough of work at the moment. I've had enough of trying to put an effort into this relationship, because you're not moving anywhere. You're not doing anything. You're just resting from your past. You're resting from the Three of Swords. So you're resting probably from some kind of... see, the Three of Swords can literally be anything. That can be mind control. Oh, there you go. Sorry, mind control. Trust me, when I say these things, I'm not really remembering the cards. mind control, where you're just trapped. Three of Swords, mind control. Manipulation, mind games, heartache, just where you're just overexerted, you're overexhausted. But it can mean that you're resting from the Three of Swords. In that Three of Swords would be anything of where it wasn't reciprocated within a heart-to-heart conversation. So your heart feels like it's dying, right? I just died in your arms. I just died in your arms tonight. It's kind of like got his arms folded here, right? Where you're protecting your heart because of some kind of third party maybe, or some kind of where it's just really, or work or anything. It's just like, man, I feel completely trapped in this church, man. In this church. Church. What's that song by Church? Oh, what's that song? It's a religious song, right? I forget now. Church. It's about God. Some of you could be religious or spiritual, well, obviously, but I forget what that song is now. Church. Praying to God and all that kind of stuff it was. If anybody knows the name of that song just by my stupid, brief introduction to what that song is, if I do remember it, I'll try and put it in the description for you. But it talks about church, obviously. So some of you could be preachers, like preachers or spiritual seekers. A seeker or a spiritual speaker. Or even a poet and you didn't know it. But either way, you feel entrapped in this situation that persists. It's a bit like sitting in a playground, man. It's a bit like sitting in a playground with people where you're just like, oh, some of you could work at school or something. Could work at school and you're just like, oh, God, I am just had enough of these people at school. It's like we're all inside a playground and I'm just like overdone myself. So you continue to carry this burden of whatever this is, but these are really not major arcanas, but it's kind of saying that it's not a major arcana, but it is, because it's resting from something that is extremely heavy burden for people to be carrying. Now that also to me is a 1. It's a 1 or a 10. So how I relate things to karma is if this isn't you, this is your partner of the other end of the scale of why this is a heartache and a heart conversation that needs to happen, because what goes around comes around. If your energy is very light, okay, light and free and airy, and you're in alignment with where you should be and you've dealt with your karma pretty much and you understand it, then the other person is receiving their karma, because these are all points of growth that are carried on the back of karma. Everything. That's why it's so heavy, because someone's not dealing with it, because they're not looking where the fuck someone's not looking where they're going, you know, they're not looking where they're going. This is why you can walk into a trap. A trap is a cycle where it leads back to the same thing. Could actually be dealing with someone with blonde hair, quite a muscular character, but blonde hair maybe, don't know. But let's see. So there you go. There is that. Free yourself. Free yourself. You want to believe in freedom? God, you got some songs coming out, Libra. Is this karaoke? Is this a pathetic 7 experience of karaoke? 'Cause I'm free to do what I want any old time. Someone is going around in circles in their head, for sure. This is a fight. It's a bit like someone's watching you carry this burden as well, though. They're actually watching you carry this heavy burden, where it doesn't have to be. It can be like someone goes to work, right? They go to work and they've had a fucking extremely exhausting day. But then when you walk home or you come home, drive or whatever, the person that you come home to is ready to fight. Because what you're doing is you're carrying such a heavy load of what you do is you project out your stressful day of blame. And we do this as souls when we get overexerted. So if we don't take enough rest from our karma and understand what it is, we can continue on that path in order to do things that we're actually not really in alignment with. But I don't want to talk too much about alignment, because people are not always in alignment with the jobs and the things that they're supposed to do, because life can be very heavy if you have children or stuff like that, if it is to do with children or work or even a loving relationship, you know. So through your soul groups of 10, meaning that it can be literally anything, people that are just involved in your life that cause so much stress that you have to continue to go forward regardless, because we have to in life, right? So what you do is when you come home, they can project that onto you or them, where it's like, listen, bruv, my day has been extremely fucking stressful and I'm ready to take your eyes out. You know, this guy is actually carrying these Three of Swords here. That's actually represented in the Three of Swords here, that somebody is recuperating or trying to understand about their karma where they're doing meditating work. Trying to meditate and trying to relax, you know, trying to listen to God, trying to listen to spirit, anything spiritual, watching tarot card readings or anything, resting. I need to recuperate and find my center one. Okay, find my center of how I start to manifest things again, because if I don't, I'm going to flip out and kill someone. Pretty much. You don't have to be that drastic, Libra, right? But yeah, because you've got Three of Swords, that this person here is continuing to watch this person carry this heavy burden upon their shoulders, right? Now, this person is still continuing on. So in search of an answer. No answer is also an answer, okay? Some people, for a long time, they can try to seek out an answer for as long as you do it. And trust me, I went through this with one of my mind control, and I'm going to give you a little bit of experience. Mind control thing where it related to me. It was me. I kept up that appearance through one of my karmic situations where I was constantly carrying this burden of trying to seek an answer that never came to me. I just wanted that answer from someone. I just wanted it, needed it, and I was continuing on for years, you know, for years, and it was never told to me, okay? But it was a spiritual experience that led me to my karma, to drop this, you know, to drop it, because I was searching for an answer that never came, you know. Funnily enough, that my karmic experience, I just realised I'm talking to Libra, right? Hello, karmic person, if you are watching. It's been some years, right? Yeah, my first karmic experience was with a Libra. And that was, wow, what, 7 years ago? 7 years ago, right? If you're watching still. I don't know. Well, there you go. I don't know, and I never did and never will. But it led me to my Seven of Cups, you know. That it was a karmic illusion. It led me to my life path. So that will lead me to tell you that I'm going to be doing the DNA matrix code system of your life path lessons, of where I'm going to add that number up to loads of other different things. But I'm only going to do that in personal readings, okay? I'm not really come to a plan of yet, but I will add loads of things together, and I will give you a very good reading of things that you're going to experience through your life path numbers and other numbers that will break down and also channel messages through, right? But I'm going to do a video about that. But they will only be personal readings. But I continue to carry that burden. But this is like, you know, somebody is continuing to try and seek an answer that they've been doing for a very long time, okay? You cannot predict time through tarot cards. Time is not an illusion. It is, but it's you that's the illusion, Libra, and that's to everybody, cross-watchers. You are the illusion. Time is an experience of the amount of time that you have left, or that you have actually on this plane of existence that you're on now. So you have a time limit, right? Whatever time that limit that is when your life expectancy is over. So time's not exactly illusion where everybody says, well, time's just an illusion and blah. No, you're the illusion, and you're the one that is here for an experience through that given amount of time. So sometimes, this is the channel messages that are coming out, we continue to try and search for an answer that's already there. We're reaching for death on the end of a candle. We're searching for something that's already found us, which is our karma. Our karma. Sometimes we continue in life, continue on a path, even though it's an extremely stressful burden, because it is our karma. It continues at 10, right? And it ends and it begins. But generally, coming out of Steve doing this kind of weird thing that he does that he can't help but do, is that someone's looking for a fight and someone's going to get a fight pretty much because they're stressed out to the max with working, relationship factors, general wealth and health, well-being is to the point where someone is verging on, because you go from the 4 to the 5, you see, pretty much. You start off at the 4, but you go to a 5 of a general being that it's also you. You know, this relationship dynamic, work relationship dynamic of anything, this reading is still about you because we mirror through psychology. Okay, so it's very difficult to say whether it's you or them, right? So, because you definitely have that here. But you go from, 4 of Swords, and that, which is 9, okay, 9. So that's like sleep, sleep deprivation, overexertion, overexerting yourself, sleep deprivation, could relate to panic and worry, where you fear also saying something to somebody because somebody has done something. Someone must have done something, right, for there to need to be a heart-to-heart conversation and for someone to free themselves karmically. Because you've got 2 cards that mean the same, which is the ending. To me, free yourself is this card, the 5, right? Then you've got this, which makes the 9, which is the dark night of the soul mentally, where things come to a conclusion in the mind that I'm still continuing to do this. The lesson is in the separation. The lesson come to us through our intuition, through the separation of the fighting. Because what wins? The ego? Really? You're going to let that win? Karma is about the separation of our ego, of our mind, because it's all come from the mind. How we communicate with people is through the mind, right? Through how you speak. So it's through how we think. When people are in your ear or in other people's ear, that's people listening to other people. Okay? And some people, they would rather do that. Some people in life, and this is God's honest truth, they have something good and they don't know what they got until it's gone. And then when it's gone, they still continue to search for something else, even though they've got a connection with someone else. And trust me, they do, because there's people in life just never satisfied. They're not. You know, this is like satisfaction. I can't get no ba-da-da. Satisfaction. Sorry, Libra, it doesn't always have to mean you, because none of these are major arcanas. But you go from a 10 to a 7, right? So 7 is always about listening to yourself constantly, right? It's always about yourselves, always. Why do I have to feel so defensive? Is it because of distance? Is it because loads of people are coming to me? Well, this is also part of your intuition, okay, a 7. It's also part of our growth and our soul's evolution of where we have to learn about boundaries. Drawing a line. I draw a line. Because God, He complicated everything. I know you're wrong, wrong, wrong. This is where I will draw a line. So someone's drawn a line and said, fuck it, bruv, you know what? I've drawn a line against all this bullshit because all you do is fight. And all we really need to do is talk. Is talk. Is talk to one another, right? Because you go from either a 1 to a 7 or a 10 to a 7, right? So either way, it's an 8, which is listening, speaking, fucking universally speaking is 8. And yes, it's Steve's most important card in the deck and in the world of how we communicate as adults, okay? So, sorry, Libra, it sounds like I'm really lecturing people, but all this here is talking about miscommunication. Miscommunication, where people can listen to other people. Trust me, I'm going through this myself with something in my life that's where someone's a Libra, right? People get miscommunication with people where they listen to other people. They listen to other people and they chat shit. They do. People chat shit all the time. You know, the moon, right, was here for a specific reason to actually give life of breath, because it started to create oxygen into the corals reefs, into the corals, and it gave oxygen and it gave life and birth to grass and trees and animals and started to produce oxygen. And then what do people do with it? Well, they decide to talk shit and pollute the earth as the moon starts to fade away and go further and further away. Right? So there's distance, is what I'm trying to say. There's distance in this dynamic that you've got going on with, well, I would pretty much say everything, you know, because this is part of the third house of where you're communicating with them and they're communicating with you. But this is also how you communicate with you, you know, where it's all coagulated within the mind through people talking shit, is what I'm picking up, you know, because you go from fight, like the 4 to the 5, which is like, well, I'm resting and now I'm fighting. I'm resting and now I'm fighting. And I'm continuing to carry this load and now I feel defensive. So if it's other people that are talking shit or you're listening to other people, then you're probably not listening to someone that's honest, which is either one that is a Pisces, Cancer or Scorpio, or it's for cross watchers that have it in their sun, moon, rising and Venus, and it's actually the Pisces that's in the wrong, right? But who's right and who's wrong? Well, I guarantee you it's nobody, because it's the ego. It's the ego of karma, of where some things are just not meant to be in life, you know. So you have endings. You have endings. You've got 2 endings here, Libra. This is where this is an ending. So this is where this comes to a 1. And this comes to a 1. Because you've started another cycle pretty much. So you're continuing it, you know. And this can mean Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay, where messages are just, they're fucking too much for somebody. They're too much. You know, they're too much. So you could be listening to society. The Knight of Pentacles can mean children, right? So it means that you could have children and you work with children or something like that, around children or something, and you could be just listening to too much static, you know, of other people. So you end up feeling like, well, I just fucking can't take anymore, or they feel stabbed in the back. It's like, really? You've done, yeah? I've worked for you for so long, now I feel completely and utterly stabbed in the back. Why is that? You know, because other people, this is like children's stuff as well. Communication. If this is how you're communicating with your partner, it just means that it's parts of soul growth. You know, yeah, God, I'm relating it to so many different things. You know, no t-shirt, no shade, but when I was first indicated to the karmic situation I was in, which was Libra, you know, it was very childish. And even me, you know, I had no idea on how to talk. I was just like, it was just the beginning of nothing, you know. But we learn through those mistakes. But this can mean like children, you know, children. Because it's the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Swords. It's talking about clear communication, because these add up to an 8, which means there needs to be some kind of even flow of communication where things are not so fucking confusing, because it's confusing the shit out of somebody where they can end up just thinking, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to leave then, because the communication of what you give me is constantly where it's like a mind battle. I don't fight with people. I just let you continue to do that shit yourself, and I will literally just leave then, you know. Trust me, this could be vice versa or whoever is involved. Because there's an involvement of people also that involve this static in people's minds where they have too much to deal with, where because they're deciding to listen to other people, you see. Because you've also got like someone that's overindulgent, or there's 3 people if it's to do with your love, work or career or anything like that, you know. You've got Pisces also. Pisces, this could be a Pisces, Cancer or Scorpio. Pisces, but or the intuition, knowing that something's just not right and someone's just willing to like go in a new direction and say fuck it, you know. I'm just standing at this crossroads thinking, well, there's more to life than what there is actually here, and that I need to travel, or that I just need to like get out of this situation because it just persists to be too much. So I need to use my intellect, where I could be a CEO, I could run my own business, you know, or that I do run my own business, or you both do, or someone does, or you both can, or something. But this is like standing within your power of the masculinity, okay? And then in comes the truth. The truth is spoken about something more fulfilling, and you've made a judgment call on that. I don't know why I'm getting all weird with my readings at the moment. I'm just trying to enjoy them more. Yeah, but bringing it round, you know, there's something that's probably involving children. If it is, we'll come off your love connection of talking. But it could have something to do with children, where there's just so much going on with people. You know, if it's a loving relationship, it's possible that there is a three-party situation going on, because your eye line is drawn towards these three when I read, and then these three that this guy is holding here, and then the Three of Cups here, you know, and trying to use and gauge your intuition. But your intuition only gauges the amount of times you do it. So if you've done it, and you've done it, and you've done it, and you've done it, and someone doesn't speak, because this intuition here, what do you know, is someone that can also never speak, and they never reveal the truth. They never reveal the truth, and they are like a masculine quality, okay, where a judgment call could be needed, because someone is a masculine quality where they want to remain in power, and that's fucking it. You will get fuck all from me. This could be in reverse. It was under the bottom of the deck. Can relate to control, where I need to control everything, you know, everything and anything, and I will remain in power, okay? Or it's someone that is a leader oriented person, and they take the right options. They use their logic wisely for their next approach. So they can also run their own business, and they have a higher calling in order to do that, okay? So they would use more of their logic. But this can be someone that just doesn't never speak the truth, which can relate to cerebral narcissism, of where we constantly search for an answer that never gets told to us verbally. So your intuition tells you, well, how long have you been searching for an answer if it relates to your circumstance where you've been doing it for a long time? Okay, because we've got no idea what comes out here. But if you've been doing it for a long time, then your intuition should be telling you by now that you've done it for too long. Too long. It's not a major arcana card, but it is, because it's a fucking heavy burden. It's a heavy burden. It's a 10. If you see the 10 of Cups, you'll be like, oh my God, that's great, right? 10 of Wands. So you go to holding on, penny pinching also, some people not penny pinching, but there's many spins to this. This can be a miser that doesn't give over anything, right? So, but this can be like, I need to now hold on to every penny that I have to save, because there's been separation, a fight, and there's distance, and now I feel defensive where I now literally have to save every penny, right? But it can also be like a miser that does not release anything, which means that can not speak the truth, or can hold on to blame, where they will literally just blame and blame everybody. But it's also part of opening up, you know, where there's a lot of things that are going on around someone where the mind is causing a static because they listen to too many people, and then what they do is that they take that information and they just hold on to it. They hold on to it, and then they just end up feeling more guarded, you know, because there's a lot of distrust, is what I'm saying, at the moment. If you have Scorpio in your chart and you watch that reading and you are now a Libra, if that reading wasn't great here, but I would watch the extended, I would, because here it got big. It got a lot bigger, where the messages will show you things, okay, if you're interested in that. But we'll see. Because someone feels trapped, where they're like, well, now you've done this so many times that I now have to hold on to myself, literally. It's like I'm holding on to things now, you know, because you've done it so many times and so many times and so many times that I now probably actually have the right to now hold on to what I have, or the thing, because this can be someone that holds on to information, you know. I've got information on you. I've got information about people, but I'm just going to hold on to it. You know, I'm just going to hold on to it just to see what it is for you to do before I release it. This is someone that's not releasing it, but it really does depend. You know, Because it can be someone that's holding on to things of being defensive now, because people are just soul groups of people chatting shit. Society, right? Society. Yeah, I'm not going to go, but these are really not major arcanas. These are like, it's like games. I mean, this is a game, right? And it's games. It's games people play. It is. They just play. So that's why it can relate to mind games, where they just play mind games of everybody. Because so much stuff happens, trust me, it happens around their environment, right, where there's been loads of people out of control, loads of people, okay, if you run a business or something, and there's been loads of stuff, and now you can't release it all because they've done so much that you then know that, well, I can't, because it's like selling out, this is like selling out of where, well, if someone says this about me or I say that about them, this other person then could say this about them and that and what, blah, 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 blah. And I hold so much things onto myself that I just end up fighting with everybody, and I have to then continue to work, but continue to do this thing. And I just continue to do it. But then what happens is that everybody seems to be fighting me, but I'm fighting with them. So they play it with themselves. They do it to themselves. Libra, again. You do it to yourself. It's just Radiohead. It's just. You do it to yourself. So because of so many people that you have to look after, or you're doing, or whatever, or children, or anything in your lives, if people sell out or they do stupid stuff, okay, then you end up selling out to people where you just have to hold on to loads of stuff and you can't release it, So what you do is you do it to yourself. You sell out to yourself. So people leave. They leave because they've been mistreated, and it's not been just for them. In order for them to keep staying around people, that you listen to stuff, or that you do things, or that you cause an argument. So people leave. People are like, well, fuck it, I'm out, So, I do apologise, but that was your... Well, it's supposed to be a simple reading, but yeah, that kind of channeled out through those cards, but they're not major arcana cards, is what I'm saying. But there's a couple of options. So you can please either join me on Patreon, okay? You can either join me on Patreon, and you can watch the rest of this reading over there, and I think it is $14 or $15 for the whole lot. And you've got your monthly over there, and you've got every other reading like this for bi-weeklies. They also go in that folder, and you have access to all those. No streaming period. You can watch them as long as you like. Or you can watch your monthly over on Vimeo, but it's only for like 2 days you can watch it for. Or your bi-weeklies are in your bi-weekly folder, and you can do the same as like the monthly. So the monthlies are there, the bi-weeklies are there, or you can join Patreon. And there's loads of other things that I want to do over on Patreon, because at some point I'm going to have to close Patreon down, Vimeo down, because I can't keep uploading things, because I have to buy another subscription that costs me a hell of a lot more to put more videos up. So it's just easier to use Patreon, but I'm going to do, I've got teaching segments, they're all over there. There will be more over there. It will all be added hopefully later. I'm going to do a ridiculous video. I'm actually going to release if you're still here and you've not clicked off, but I'm going to release a video of when I was going through my first karmic situation, actually, that was with a Libra, and I was making a complete and utter tit of myself. I was on camera trying to express myself where I was so needy, it was unbelievable, right? So that was part of my karma. But I'm going to put one of those videos up and showing you, I think it was the last video I ever made. One of them was to do with cerebral narcissism, and the other one was to do with the tower moment, where I was flipping out at the camera. And I had to quit my channel and come to do this one, So I'm going to put a few of those up when I get 30 patrons, just as because it tells you to do that. But those options are there if you want a personal reading, Libra. Okay, my information is all in the description. Some people, they leave stuff in the comments or whatever, and they haven't watched the rest of this, and they've got no idea what's going to come out. And things may turn around, and then when I clarify everything, it comes into a whole story and picture of where I draw it and conclude it into one. you know. But I do have to earn a living, and that's why I have to do this, you know. So, you know, people can dislike and stuff, and that's fine. But unless you watch the rest of the reading, you're really going to not know what it's about. So hopefully those options are there. If not, there are going to be some other stuff that I'm hoping to do soon with the channel. But I really do appreciate all your kind words and support. I really do. And I will hopefully see you on the other side, where we're going to clarify everything, come out with everything, and we'll have a deeper look into quite a lot of things. And it might be a long while. Okay? All right, Libra. Peace.